Stop thinking about another language. Think in English. This phrase may seem simple, but it carries a key that can open the fluency door you look for so much. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's Impact episode. But before you officially start this episode that can change the way you learn English, let me tell you something essential, something that maybe no one has explained to you so clearly. Most people who learn English make the same mistake. They keep trying to translate everything they hear or talk about, word by word, thought by thought. They listen in English, and the brain runs, desperate, to Portuguese. And when they need to talk, they lock. They are trying to form phrases in Portuguese, then turn into English. It gets tired. This frustrates. This breaks confidence. And you know why? Because your brain is stuck in a constant translation cycle. And in this cycle, fluency never appears. But calm down. You are not alone in this. I know you have tried. I know you have already felt crashed, frustrated, with the feeling that your English never gets out of place. You hear videos, try to study grammar, watch series, repeat words, but when you need to speak, your brain seems to turn off, as if you give white. And deep down, you wonder, why is it so hard for me? I will answer you now, and I promise, this will make sense. You learned English the wrong way. Not because of your fault, but because the traditional system taught you like this. They taught you to translate, to decorate rules, to worry about the error, the verb, the perfect structure, and forgot to teach you how to think. Think of English. And do you know what is most interesting? Thinking in English is natural. It is something anyone can develop. But you need to practice the right way. You need to listen to English every day. You need to hear how a baby listens. Absorbing, feeling. Understanding with the heart before understanding with the head. This is why hearing practice, the famous listening, is so powerful. Because it is she who teaches her brain to think directly in English, without translation, without locking. Imagine this for a moment. You hear the phrase, "I'm hungry." And instead of thinking, "I'm hungry," your brain already understands the image, the idea, the feeling of being hungry, as a reflection, without having to go through the Portuguese. This is thinking of English. This is the goal. And that is what will lead you to the truth of truth. And that's why this episode today is so important. Because we will not just talk about English. We will talk about freedom. Freedom to express yourself, to understand, to communicate, to travel, to work, to study whatever you want. No locks, no fears, without having to depend on subtitles or dictionary. Thinking about English is like changing a bicycle for a motorcycle. You accelerate, you fly. But calm down. I'll still guide you on this journey. So stay with me until the end of this video, because I prepared something special. Let us together deconstruct the old habits and build a new mindset. A mindset that thinks as an English speaker. And you will notice that it all starts with the ear, by listening, by daily exposure. It is no use studying by obligation. You have to live English. You have to feel. You have to breathe. Have you ever stopped to think that you learned Portuguese without ever taking a grammar course when you were a baby? You didn't know what was subject, verb, or predicate, but you understood. You spoke. Because you listened. All the time. He heard his mother, his father, his grandparents, his friends, the television, and over time, without realizing it, his brain began to think directly in Portuguese. And now, it's time to repeat this process, but with the English. And do you know what is most beautiful? You can. Even if it is 20, 40, 60 years, it doesn't matter. Your brain can still learn. You can still adapt. Neuroscience proves this. The mind is moldable. Just need the right tool. And the right attitude. And the first tool is this here. Active listening. Listen to English every day, even if you don't understand everything. Listen to songs, videos, podcasts, and get used to it. Because magic happens when you least expect it. One day, without realizing it, you will hear a sentence, and you will understand. Without translating, you will feel the idea. It will capture the meaning. It will smile. And you'll think, wow, I thought in English. And this will be one of the most special days of your journey. So right now, take a deep breath. Feel this motivation by entering you. Because today, you are taking a step towards a new way of learning. A lighter, more natural, more effective way. You will stop thinking about another language and start living English. Yes, to live. Because English is not just a story. It is a bridge to new worlds, new ideas, new opportunities. And you deserve to cross this bridge. So stay with me until the end. Because in the next block, we will truly dive into what it means to think of English. Let's break the myths, fears, and doubts together. And I will show you, step by step, how to turn your way of learning simply, human, and possible. Now, yes, let's dive deep into the heart of this journey. How to stop thinking about another language and finally start thinking about English. For starters, I want you to imagine the following. You are in a conversation with a native. The person says something simple, such as, "Where are you from?" And instead of responding naturally, your brain crashes. He enters an emergency mode. It starts running after the translation. Where, you, is, of, and here comes the panic. The answer that could be so easy becomes a mental battle. This is because you are still trying to live in two languages at the same time, and the mind doesn't work well. She needs a clear command. And the command you have given is translate. But today, here and now, I want to invite you to change this command. Let's replace translate with understand directly in English. And do you know how you do it? Training the brain to recognize patterns. Training him to associate words with images, with emotions, with sounds, not with words in Portuguese. Think with me for a moment. When you hear the word dog, do you see a dog in your head? Or do you still need to think dog or can't dog? Because if you are still translating, it is a sign that your brain has not yet created this natural shortcut. But when you start exposing yourself to English every day, with intention, with real listening, with patience, this shortcut begins to graduate. And when it graduates, you unlock a new part of your mind, a faster, lighter, more fluent part. But here's a secret. You don't have to understand everything. And you will not understand everything at first. And it's okay. English will not enter by force. He enters through repetition, by familiarity, by the emotion. So watch your favorite videos in English. Listen to songs that touch you. See series with English subtitles and then without subtitles. Repeat phrases, talk alone, nor your day. And most importantly, listen with the heart, as if English were already part of you. And don't be afraid to look silly, because this silly today is the fluent of tomorrow. Every time you strive to speak without translating, even with errors, you are teaching your brain how to trust the new language. And trust is everything. When you start trusting, fear disappears. The shame disappears. And English begins to flow. Now let me tell you something that few say. Fluency is not knowing all the words. It's not talking like a Cambridge teacher. Fluency is to be able to express yourself with what you already know. It's turning around. It is understanding what the other person means and respond naturally, even with simple phrases, even with limited vocabulary. The important thing is to communicate. It is connecting. And mostly, it is thinking directly in English. So if you really want to make it happen, you need to change 3 attitudes. First, stop translating. Whenever you realize your brain wanting to make this way, take a deep breath and try to visualize the idea straight in English, as if watching a scene. Monday. Listen to English every day. This is sacred, even for 10 minutes, even if you don't understand everything. This trains your mind to accept English as a family language. Third, speak, even if alone, even slowly. Talk to yourself in English. Create situations. Imagine conversations. Gnar what you are doing. The more you talk, the more your brain will get used to formulating phrases in the right language. And here's a phrase you can keep in your heart. Fluency lives in habit, not talent. You don't have to be the smartest, not even the fastest. You just need to be the most constant, the most committed, the most willing to continue even when it seems that nothing is working. And you know why? Because it is working. Silently, your brain is shaping itself. With each word heard, with each repeated sentence, with each little effort, it's all counting. Everything is being recorded. And one day, you'll look back and realize that that English that seemed impossible, now it comes out naturally. And look, if no one told you this today, I'll say, you are capable. Capable of learning. Capable of improving. Capable of overcoming this barrier. No matter how long you are trying. No matter how many times you have crashed. What matters is that now you understand what you need to change. And power is in your hands. You are learning more than one language. You are learning a new way of thinking. To see the world, to connect with people, to grow. And if you arrived here in this video, it's because you're ready. Ready to take the next step. Ready to train your brain to think of English. Living English. To love the process. In the next block, I will show you how to apply all this in your daily life, simply. I will give you practical tips and leave you with a final inspiration that will light your motivation like never before. Now that you understand what it means to think of English, and you know the ways to start this transformation, it's time to put it all into practice. Think with me once again. What if today was the day when you finally stopped translating? What if from now on you decided to trust the process, trust yourself, and let English become a natural part of your mind? Because the truth is that English is already inside. He is just waiting for you to stop doubting. Stop sabotaging yourself and start living this language with lightness. You don't need another course. You don't need a miracle. You need consistency. You need a decision. And it needs action. Small, daily, constant. Because that's what will train your brain. This is what will change your way of thinking. So here is the challenge. For just 7 days, committed to active listening. Every day, listen to at least 15 minutes of English. It can be music, video, podcast, whatever you want, but listen carefully. Repeat phrases, imagine scenes, and if possible, speak. Alone, aloud. It may seem strange at first, but it is exactly this strangeness that shows that you are evolving. It is leaving the comfort zone, and that's where magic happens. What's more, start asking simple questions to yourself in English. What am I doing now? Questions? What do I want to eat today? How am I feeling? It may seem silly, but it's deep, because you start talking to yourself in the language you want to master. This is thinking of English. This is planting fluency in your mind. And here is another valuable tip. Use words you already know. Don't try to impress anyone. Do not try to sound like a walking dictionary. Fluency begins with the basics, with everyday phrases, with real expressions. So the more natural your practice, the faster English will come in. And don't compare with others. This is your journey. It's your time. It is your victory that is forming with each step. And I know may have been frustrated before. He has tried methods that did not work. You have already thought of giving up. But look at you now. You are here. You are listening to this message. You are learning. It's evolving. And that already puts you ahead of thousands of people who are still in doubt, in fear, in translation. You are freeing yourself now. So I want to remind you of something powerful. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to continue. 1 step a day, 1 video a day, a thought in English a day. And when you least expect it, English will stop being an effort, and it will become part of who you are. And now, before ending, I want to leave you with a simple phrase, but it has the power to guide your journey. Don't just learn English. Live it, feel it, think it. Not just study English. Long live the English. Feel the English. Think in English. And if this message touched your heart, if you felt that this video helped you somehow, I ask you now, subscribe to the channel. This is much more than a button. It is a commitment to yourself, with your growth, with your freedom, and leave a comment below. Tell me how you feel now. If this content inspired you, tell me. And if you have questions, you can write too. I read every comment and answer with love, because here we walk together. We are a community of people who believe in the power of practice, in the power of transformation. And of course, share this video with someone who is also in this fight. Someone who deserves to stop translating and start living English with joy. Thank you so much for being here, for trusting, for continuing. May this be just the beginning of your new journey with English. And remember, every great result begins with a small decision. We see each other in the next video. Until then, keep listening, feeling, and thinking of English. You can. I believe in you.